Over the past 6 years, I ticked off over half my bucket list with 100 things that I want to do before I die, and I also helped many other people to tick off theirs. And what always stood out to me is that, of course, you see a lot of people that want to see the Northern Lights or who want to go skydiving, but these are kind of like the copy-paste bucket list goals that most people have, and most likely just because it's something that is cool and that's why they put it on the list. However, the bucket list items that stick out the most to me are those where you can tell they are very personal. So for example, I've seen this guy who wants to open a mango farm, and these are the kind of goals where I know, okay, these are just very personal. This guy really wants to open a mango farm. And I think it's just so important to have these kind of goals on your list that are just meaningful to you. Maybe they just make sense to you, and that's totally okay. Today I want to talk about this goal right here, taking the boat from Vienna to Bratislava. By the way, welcome back to another episode of Tick Off Tuesday. This is the show where I talk about all the bucket list items that I ticked off, so hopefully you can do the same. So this goal, taking the boat to Bratislava, when I told about that to other people, some people were like, yeah, but that's kind of a boring goal. That's something that old people do. And I mean, that is true. A lot of old people do this kind of stuff. But since I live in Vienna, I always thought it kind of would be fun to take the boat to Bratislava. And that's why I put it on my bucket list. Even though other people were like, yeah, but that doesn't fit your other items that you have on this list that are super extreme. I mean, there's stuff like skydiving, open door heli ride, just a lot of crazy stuff that I've done. But the thing I don't want to forget is that a bucket list only has to make sense to you. So it's a list of personal things that bring you joy, things that fulfill you. So that's why I want to go back to the 5 inspiration questions, which I'm writing about in the bucket list planner as well, and hopefully help you to also brainstorm these kind of personal goals. So basically, there are 5 questions that I asked myself when I wrote my bucket list. The first one was, what have I wanted to do for a long time, but still haven't done? And that's definitely this thing with the boat to Bratislava. That's definitely something that I wanted to do for a long time, and that's why I put it on my list. Then question 2, how can I have a positive impact on others? So basically, what is something that you can do for someone else? What would be something that might be valuable for someone else? Then question 3, what would be really fun to do, especially with friends? And most likely these are kind of like the silly goals as well, just something that gives you a fun time. I mean, for example, I set an igloo on fire, or I rolled a big tractor tire down a steep hill. That was something that was super fun to do with friends. I haven't talked about this in a Tick Off Tuesday show yet, but I will definitely do that very soon. Then question 4, what would create memories you will never forget? What is something that you know that once you've done that, that would create this epic story that you will be able to tell your grandkids? And the last question, how can I show myself and others that anything is possible? These are the items that probably don't even feel possible right now, but by going after them and trying to actually accomplish them, you know that once they are accomplished, it will create this story and it will create this proof that anything is possible. So those 5 questions definitely helped me a lot to brainstorm those 100 items for my bucket list. And I think in the end, it doesn't really matter what you put on your list. As long as it's meaningful to you, as long as you go really deep in thinking about what is it really that I want to do before I die. And they don't have to be big, they can be small. They don't have to be crazy, they can also be silly. The ideas on your bucket list only have to make sense to you. And if that's the case, you will automatically be a lot more passionate to go after those things and create those exciting memories. So now what I would like you to do is to take 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes and don't do anything else but think about those 5 questions. And then just write down whatever comes to mind. And then after that, you can go through that draft and pick the ideas that you can put on your final bucket list. And then of course, take action on them. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.